channel Otherdoc. I am Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our 6th development mode session of our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice of life game by Monte Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. This is the final stream, I believe, of Anino's birthday fundraiser for Extra Life. He is playing in support of Boston's Children's Hospital, I believe. So if you'd like to donate, the link is on the screen and is going to be popping up over in chat. So feel free to take a look at that. Let me go ahead and throw that up there. And today, we've all been doing very exhausting things today, so this isn't going to be a very long session per se, but we're going to just we're just kind of unwinding, doing some chill stuff and seeing what happens in the world of Invisible Sun with our characters. Like we do with most things on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and then we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're doing okay and that we're good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark behind it once we are moving into a difficult topic, or right after we do and say something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. And then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O and let us know if we're still doing okay. So, for this, my understanding is we don't have like a lot of things necessarily that we're planning per se. So I think we're going to go ahead, if folks would like. We're going to pick up not too long after we left off. When we left off, we were flying home back to the city of Satyrine, and under the indigo sun once more from the gold. This is something not many people can do, but Her Elegance can. She is a major figure over in the gold, very well known, and so she is. Since she was heading back to Satyrine anyway, she's going to bring all of you back, and I think some of you wanted an opportunity to talk to her, as there was stuff happening. There's been a point where you maybe have from time to time you think Shantano at one point got sort of went off and talked to her, so this is we can do this. I will actually let me do this actually. We can put the time we can start this either before you leave, or we can start it at some point after you have landed. Which would you prefer? So basically, if you want to be in the gold or if you want to be in the indigo, that's really what I'm asking.
I think I would like to be under the indigo.
You good with that? Okay. All right, let me go ahead and grab up real quick, among other things. I want to open the appropriate. I want to open the appropriate tomes so that I shall have them available. So you're gonna get dropped off. Well, yeah, Her Elegance is fairly high profile as these things go. She does a lot of trading, and so I think that her airship, whatever it is that which I haven't really described yet, because it's sort of fuzzy in my memory right now as well what I was doing with it. So we're going to...
I thought we were riding on beasts with wings.
There was something where you were riding on something with wings. But I believe that she would probably... Her instinct is going to be to land the thing over in the Fade. But she also can land... I'm trying to remember if there was a specific thing she wanted, why she was coming back to Saturnine. Because I have not watched last week's episode because things have been happening. But I seem to remember there was... Let's see, she brought a couple of things to your attention, to everyone's attention. Or after your prisoner was brought to her attention. They had to do with... One of them had to do with the foreman. I remember that. And then there was another thing that she talked about. That where you folks were looking for answers. Do you happen to remember any of that, or it's okay if you don't know.
Apart from Limerence Street, you mean?
Was there stuff she talked about with respect to Limerence Street?
Yeah. So because one of the favors that we asked in reply to her was to for information on how we could find Limerence Street.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And she told us something about some organization that she didn't know, but she thought could possibly be involved, that might be powerful enough to disappear an entire street.
Variagan of the Numa.
Yes.
Was the name that she gave you. This is someone that Vor, I believe, knows, because Vor knows everybody. And I think also... I think also it's possible that either of you might know him as well, because he doesn't live very far away. So that's a thing that's possible. He lives just across the field, that empty field where they set up the World's Fair. So that's a possible avenue to folly. An avenue of folly to follow, should we desire to do that, to fall into folly. But so she'd be inclined to she could drop you off at the Hollows if you'd prefer. She's gonna have business shortly over in the Fade and probably in the Tower of Lost Sleep. But she can take some time if you would like to chat with her. There's a cafe in Fartown that she likes. Sometimes it's a bar, sometimes it's a cafe.
Is it a cafe that has seating where we can avoid being overheard?
I'm pretty sure it does. Let me see if they talked about it. I've got a piece of... Actually, I'm going to reveal there's a piece of literature that gets tossed around town about this place. And I'm going to go ahead and reveal that to you now, so you can see it. Just sort of depends on what time of day it is as to which one it is. And those should now be available in the handouts, the cafe bar, and the bar cafe.
Such a trip.
Let me see if I included that in my... I did not. Okay.
Oops.
I didn't include it in the thing. But, so those things you kind of have to read upside down.
I know. I was like,
if you're looking at the screen, you don't actually have to, because I've got both both orientations in the in the thing.
I clicked on a thing and now my computer is confused. I accidentally clicked away and now it's like loading
Oh,
forever.
no. That's not good. That's not good at all.
Nope. We're just gonna start over.
Everything must start over. Are you gonna have to reboot or anything, or are you just?
No, I was just
okay.
gonna like get rid of that tab and get a new tab. Sometimes it's just like this tab is gone and nothing happens. And you're like, no, please.
Ah, okay, I gotcha. But yeah, basically the bar cafe is, I can show the audience this as well in just a second. As soon as I can get this this window properly here. There we go. I'm gonna stick that there. I'm gonna close that, and I will briefly go over here so folks can see it. That's the flyer. That's what the flyer looks like in any case, for either the bar cafe or the cafe bar, depending again on what time of day it is. I feel like it's probably still going to be daytime, so it's probably. Yeah, let me check the. It's probably the bar cafe right now. So I will go ahead and opening this image up here. Between sunrise and sunset, join us for a healthy meal in a warm and pleasant atmosphere. At Bar, we love serving guests for breakfast, lunch, or an early dinner. Transformation occurs precisely at sunset. Waitstaff not responsible for late meal orders lost in the transition. Families and large groups welcome. Ask about our daily specials. Mention this flyer and get a 10% discount on your bill.
Ooh.
So that is the that is for the bar cafe. That's a place to that's a place that she likes. So she's probably gonna head over there. This is the first thing where they've actually given me recipes. I don't have to make it up. It's right here in front of me. Let's see. They have. So they have drinks. Well, not too many drinks right now, but they've got. They have minor magic bites. They have vegetables and churros dip. Various strange things like that. And they have the recipes here and everything. I think I'm actually supposed to make these. Or, well, people are, if they want the immersive experience. So that's what they gave us. Yeah, so that's okay. I see. Yeah, the thing that they gave me was for yeah, this is for cafe more than anything else. The menu. So there, they've got various different dishes that they have. It's kind of, if you would imagine going to a place and seeing. Have you ever been to a museum where they have like a cafe? It's like a few steps. It's like you can get meals there, but it's like they're kind of there's a lot of sort of very basic stuff that you can get. So it's like a thing and a potato and a roll, that kind of thing, or a thing and a salad and a roll. So those are sort of in general what they have on the menu, and I shall continue to flavor it by drawing a card, just so that I can kind of see the tone of this. And the card in question is the Eternal Mountain, which I think we may have had before here. It's the Four of Visions. It means its meanings are unchanging, solitude, memory, eternal, long life. The mountain stands alone and unchanging. It always has and it always will. Some find this compelling, others terrifying. The mountain sees all and never forgets what it has seen. Eternal Mountain is the location card of the Visions family. In divination, a challenge that lies ahead is insurmountable. Conversely, if one is on the defense, one can weather any storm, any assault. Yes, we've definitely had this before. So, the menu today has things on it like inevitability and stoicism. So various dishes that represent that kind of thing. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess, did we ask her to talk and she took us here, or?
Yeah, she's there. In case you wanted to chat, I think perhaps one of you did. I seem to remember one of you telling me you wanted to. Okay.
I did. It was me, but it don't want to be overheard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
They
have
chat.
nooks. They have enclosed nooks. So that's certainly doable.
Wait a second. Let me read something on the character sheet.
Yeah. The ceilings are very high, and the booths are very tall and very enclosed, which is good because her elegance is 12 feet tall.
Hopefully this will be really intimidating if you keep people away. Anyways, so I guess I'll get, I don't know, like a coffee or something and sit down in one of these booths with her.
Okay. Now, just to be clear, did you want to talk to her alone, or is Mac also there for this?
I don't care if Mac is there. I don't want random strangers overhearing.
Okay, but it's all right if Mac is with you. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Unless Mac doesn't want to be there, in which case.
No, I'm here to keep you out of trouble.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
Back up for the giant intimidating lady.
So she's like, she basically is. They're gonna take her order, and she basically is going to get mostly. She orders she orders a very, very large salad.
She orders 4 salads. They just come together in the same
basically,
plate.
Yeah, it's the salad of destiny is what she orders, and they will. Apparently, the salad of destiny is like a freaking mixing bowl with huge amounts of salad in it. It's almost like a bowl of endless salad. One can get lost in there if one digs deep enough into the salad of destiny. It's like a jungle. Like a jungle coated in vinegar. What would you like to order?
I'm just gonna get like real me doesn't drink coffee, but Aroshka probably does, so
okay.
I get, it's probably a really sugary coffee drink.
Awesome. Yes, they
kind
have
of frou-frou.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a cafe. This is still, sort of a cafe.
Fantasy frappuccino.
Yeah. They will get you the fantasy frappuccino. Basically, it exists in brackets to fight other coffee drinks. Coffee is important.
It's a really aggressive coffee in this world.
Yes, they do.
We had a fighting drink last time too.
It's true. Yes, that's right. That's right. In the gold. It's really, yeah. Honestly, the fantasy frappuccino does not move the way that the one in the gold did. But it is a case where you think possibly it's on the menu because she frequents this place sometimes when she's here. So that is definitely a thing. So they will. So in addition to getting the, you are asked when you ask for the fantasy frappuccino if you would like to place a bet.
Oh.
You don't have to, but you can if you wish.
Depends what we're betting.
Well, on the hang on. What are those called? On the brackets that they have, and you can see them kind of up on the wall behind the bar. They have these different flavors that are kind of competing with each other. So right now, so you have the sort of the green tea is currently in combat with the ocean of vanilla, as it's called. And those are kind of trying to figure out who's going to take the top spot.
Well, vanilla is the most popular flavor in the world. Let's go with that.
The ocean of vanilla. Okay. So that is the one that they will bring you.
He's just going to interrupt and be like, vanilla is the most popular flavor in the world? Really?
Is that
true?
That's a real life fact too, actually.
It is the most popular flavor in the gray.
I guess maybe it's not true in this world.
It could be. Vanilla might be the most popular flavor in Saturnine as well. We're not sure. But this is ocean of vanilla, which is perhaps a slightly different flavor.
Also possibly true.
Mac, do you want anything?
You just get a grilled cheese sandwich and a bowl of tomato soup.
They have that. They absolutely do. The grilled cheese of certainty will be brought to you.
It's very certain grilled cheese.
It is. It is absolutely sure. There is no doubt in this sandwich's mind that it is cheese that has been grilled between pieces of bread. That's going to show up in a few minutes during this conversation. Her Elegance, again, she has taken off. She's indoors, so she was wearing her headdress when she came in. She has taken it off again. And her attendants are still with her. These little flying, almost cherubic spirit thingies that help keep her train from causing major accidents. And so she will look down sort of as she's sort of surveying, and she will reach over and close the curtains so that there is privacy, because the paparazzi is out there.
Good.
And says, it seems that things largely remain the same when I come back here. In many ways, the change isn't quite as frequent as back in the gold, but that's just a basic thing. Have you been to this place before?
This particular cafe? Not that I remember.
Ah, yes. Back recently?
Yeah, recently-ish. Yeah, I might have mentioned that I think I mentioned that I used to live on the missing street.
Quite.
Yeah. Well, so, it was probably something I should have thought of sooner, but I don't really remember what I was doing during the war or before I was in the gray or anything like that. Other people seem to remember what I was doing. They seem really interested in it. I don't like these other people. And so I'm a little bit concerned, A, about the fact that the street has gone missing, and B, about what happens if it gets found again. Um, Maybe I don't want people getting into my old house.
I see.
I didn't bother to clean it out before I left.
Ah. There is, it seems to me... Yeah, something is missing. I suspect I might have known you. Perhaps.
Totally possible.
Not well. But I have had... It is only through... It is only through my associations through other memories that I begin to see where things are missing. In particular with reference to, I think, your street. For I remember hearing about your house.
It's a big book.
Yes. It strikes me there is something of importance in there, of importance perhaps to me. But I have no context for it.
Well,
as the memory is gone.
There were quite a few members of there were quite a few Vances who were very interested in the contents of my house. When I arrived back, said house, and it wasn't very friendly to me, hence why I left. But yeah, I'm slightly concerned about the contents of the house based on the brief amount of time I spent there when I came back.
They too would not remember. Interesting. I see that this may be difficult for you, as you have a choice to make between an old and new identity and how much of each you wish to preserve.
I'm not really sure I like the old me. She seems unpleasant.
Yes. It seems that you were perhaps a person of a different kind. And then,
so other people seem to make me think.
As things, the memory has affected the memory of the war, well, as the memories surrounding the war have affected us all, that perhaps afterwards, this is why you are no longer associated with that order.
They all seem like very unpleasant. Well, maybe not all of them. Most of them seem very unpleasant. Yeah, I think I was pretty typical.
These are the vents? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Vances, in my experience, are not... Those whom I have interacted with have not been, for the most part, unpleasant. Many are focused on particular things, to the exclusion, perhaps, of more than is healthy for them. I do concede that.
Maybe it was just the Vances, in my social circles.
Perhaps, but You have, I think, every reason to be wary. I do not... I try not to get too entangled with orders myself, as I know that they have their ways about them. And she will, just out of perhaps it's politeness or perhaps it's just curiosity, and she will turn to Mac. She says, "Have you an order?"
Mac is just going to point to the badge that he wears.
Ah, yes.
You can say I'm moonlighting. Because he's going to point to the badge he wears for the Order of Goetica, and then he's going to point to the Eye of the Church of Illuminism.
Interesting.
Sorry, you haven't heard of a vessel before?
I have. I have not encountered many. They operate primarily out of the blue, is that correct?
They do, actually.
My trips to the blue have been only of necessity. It has been... I have not... I do not often when I am there have the opportunity to interact with the other orders. You say you are moonlighting with them. How are you finding it?
Well, I mean, I have a different sort of point of view, I guess, with regards to how I interact with spirits. I try to treat mine as more of equal partners or clients, whereas most of the Order of Goetica seems to treat them more like a Pokemon.
She looks, she narrows her eyes for a moment, trying to think about that word. She glances over to Rushka.
I think it's a gray thing.
Ah, yes. Someone... I think my assistant... her children have these cards from the Gray. Is it some form of Gray card game?
Among other things.
I think I have heard of them. The idea being to capture each other's cards.
Something to that effect.
So they...
yeah. And Mac is going to flash a bit of a wary expression because he's kind of tired, having gone through much of his life in the Gray, of trying to explain to non-gamers what Pokemon is, given that, we say that he was one of the programmers behind the game.
Yeah. It's like, I still gotta do this crap when I'm in the real world? What the hell? She will nod. She says, spirits must be respected, and it is the only way, and treated with mutual care. It is the only way to work with them. And she extends a hand over to one of the spirits that's holding up her train, and it kind of will come over, and she'll kind of she'll kind of touch it in this kind of almost sort of loving manner. And it'll make a little noise like that. And then it will continue their train.
Is the spirit concealing itself in any manner, or
no? Not really.
Oh, well, I mean, like Mac will just acknowledge the presence of the spirit there, but for the most part, he's just far too polite to call attention to them.
Yeah. These you've been able to see these spirits that are kind of like adjusting her clothes constantly and sort of carrying her train and sort of doing that. She nods, sort of looking back. It is interesting. I hope that you and your order are able to reach some workable medium, yes?
I suppose I'm not terribly influential within the Order of Goetica yet.
So the food arrives. And so she's handed this massive bowl of salad. And you're handed each your orders of the ocean of vanilla, and the grilled cheese of certainty.
The world's most certain grilled cheese sandwich.
That's right. You have never, looking at this sandwich, you have never been more sure in your life that you are looking at a grilled cheese sandwich. This is the most grilled cheese sandwich you have ever seen.
And so he's going to pay much respect to this almost certainly a grilled cheese sandwich. But he's going to actually split one of the triangles in half and stir it around or dip it casually into the tomato soup just to see what would happen.
It explodes! No. You are not the first to have done this. So it there is a reaction. The soup seems to, and this is the weird part, right? So you dip it in, and the soup starts turning more cheese colored instead of the other way around.
Huh. I don't think I've ever had a much more respect for a sandwich that was so self-assured.
If there is one thing in your life you can be certain of, it's that before you sits a grilled cheese sandwich.
I think the only way left to experience it is to consume the said sandwich and hope that the self-assuredness that the sandwich seems to possess will rub off.
You are almost overwhelmed with absolute certainty that you have eaten that you are eating a grilled cheese sandwich. It's like
I have
a touchstone in life.
This memory will be forever ingrained in your mind, and every grilled cheese you have from now on will pale by comparison.
That's right. And at no point ever will any of my enemies be able to gaslight me through manipulating the memory of this sandwich.
Yeah.
Somebody will show you something that is very definitely not a grilled cheese, and you'll be like, I know what grilled cheese is.
Exactly. Now, that is not to say that it's necessarily the best grilled cheese sandwich you've had in your life. but it is most certainly the most grilled cheese sandwich you've had in your life.
Cheesiest, grillediest sandwich.
And you do actually come away with it with a bit of feelings of certainty that you can extrapolate a little more generally for a little while.
I feel content. Only there were other assurances, such as this grilled cheese sandwich.
I know. So few things are as assuring.
My faith is restored.
Excellent.
And that you can be absolutely certain of something out there.
Even if it's just a grilled cheese sandwich.
That's right.
If it's just a grilled cheese sandwich.
I feel as though I may have derailed us slightly. My apologies.
You can tell we're all really tired because we're all giggling like madmen over a sandwich that doesn't even exist.
You don't understand. We've cracked it. We figured it out. I think there was there something in particular you wanted to ask Her Elegance about or talk to her about? In addition to what we've been talking about.
I do, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I suppose that Her Elegance. I suppose you, as being someone who knows much about everything, it seems, I wanted to ask you, is my character sheet filled with my notes? There it is. There's someone that I've seen to draw the ire of. And I'm not really quite sure why, but I have a feeling that one of us will perish in a conflict someday. Goes by the name of Dark-Eyed Manfred.
I'm going to draw another card. Okay. The card is the Banished Serpent. Once again, it's a card of mysteries. Its meanings are balance, exile, punishment. Vizsla no exile, but for them and their time in shadow, the exile was self-imposed. The Banished Serpent was cast out, sent back from whence it came. Banishment rids us of a problem, but it does not bring it to a permanent end. It is rarely a true solution. Rather, it is most often a punishment. We banish those who have threatened us or wronged us because exile is what they fear. The fact that it ends the threat, at least temporarily, is just an added benefit. As a punishment, then, it is an act of balance, an appropriate and measured response to an unwanted act. So, she slowly nods. I have heard of him. He is a mercenary of sorts. His profession is to, it seems, ruin lives for those who hire him. He is no longer allowed in any in the areas I oversee of the gold. Sent him away. He was problematic. The only saving grace, perhaps, would be that should he be targeting you, it is likely not personal on his part.
Oh, no. I think we have something very, very personal.
Maybe.
But I don't know what it is.
I think he has disassociated himself from his origins. So it is difficult to know, and I do not, but I did determine that he was someone who wanted to forget something from his past. Or at the very least, not have to deal with it.
Well,
he had reinvented himself to become Dark-Eyed Manfred. What he was before, I cannot say.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't David Bowie, so...
Ah, yes. No. That one... I do not know where he is. He came back to the Indigo for a time recently, but has gone off doing other things. I understand he was very popular in Shadow.
I'm sure he was.
But as for this Manfred, he's a tricky one to trade with. That much I also know.
Well, I mean, I do know that I have yet to reattain this power that I had accumulated before I was banished into the Gray.
Interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that probably my goal, I suppose. I need to gather my strength and continue to develop my magic again so that I could stand toe-to-toe with him.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. We have no liking for him in our parts of the gold. Should I think of a way that I might be able to assist, I will let you know.
You're too kind. I would owe you quite a bit of debt if you were to provide me with such assistance.
It just occurs to me that it is... It troubles me that he is causing such... He continues to cause such difficulties amongst the Vizsla.
Yes,
Something should be done about him.
Well, we're just one big happy family.
Fair. She will look back to Eroshka. Actually, no. Wait. I'm sorry. There was something that. There was something she wanted to ask also Mac about, but I will I'll come back to it.
Okay.
She'll look back. She will. She's including a rushing on the conversation. She'll say, I was not aware that there were Vizsla exiled to the Grey at the time of the war starting, but it does make a certain sense that maybe some were. Do you know about it? Do you know about this?
I remember very little. I know that I was there and that apparently nobody expected me to come back. They were very surprised when I showed up.
I must wonder, and this seems perhaps to be the case for both of you, that there were those who might have considered you problems beforehand.
I mean, I can't imagine why. We're such charming people. You flash such a wry grin about it.
But, simply, and perhaps I am making a connection that does not exist, but then again, what things are not truly connected? Perhaps there is a greater hand acting against the both of you.
I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me. The group of Vizsla that we have been associating with seems to have very common threads that we just quite haven't been able to follow the entire way.
Well, I will say, and I hope I can trust both of you to keep this to yourselves, I sort of get the impression that I might have been inventing some kind of weapon. So
really?
I could see that, yeah. I mean, my own notes were a little unclear to me, but it certainly seemed aggressive.
Should the street be returned, you will have to be very careful, especially if it returns to people's memories. I have to wonder also then if perhaps part of the reason the street went away might have been to do with your projects.
I was kind of wondering that myself. I sort of hoping not, but I could see it.
From what you have stated, did you folks tell her about the...
Sorry.
Gesundheit.
I'm done now.
Did you folks tell her about the Seeker? The Seeker of Souls?
I don't think so.
The horrible thing? Okay.
Oh, was it the thing that beat up my poor polar bear
Oh, yes.
companion? Okay. We did not tell her of that.
Okay. So yeah, she will, in the speculation, she'll say, Perhaps I might be able to provide some assistance in their containment. If you wish. If they are indeed, if there comes to a point when they are returned. Is that something you would want?
Sure.
I mean, I don't think a seeker should be loose within Anarene.
I'm sorry. I meant, and again, I don't think you had told her about the seeker. So she's
sorry.
she's saying, so she was referring to the weapon.
Okay, my bad.
Weapon design. Oh, no problem.
Oh yes, I would like it contained. Maybe destroyed. I'm just very afraid that the street's gonna show back up and someone's gonna beat me there.
Understood. Not knowing the timing of it does make it difficult, but I might be able to provide something that at the very least you can use that might help should you return before anyone else. It does not destroy, it just changes. An item containing somewhat the essence of the gold. I will tell you what. If you will provide me with... For I feel as though there is something missing, as I said. Perhaps regarding this specifically. If you will let me know of the circumstances, if you discover them, of the street's disappearance, and the information related to that, I will allow you to make use of the change sphere.
I can do that.
Sorry, what's the change?
This is the first time it's been mentioned.
Okay.
She nods. But a moment. And she says, and she holds her hand up, and she sort of does this, and you see like little arcs of golden lightning going between her hands, and then appearing in it is this gold sphere, which is, in her hands it's about like this big. So in your hands it would be kind of like that. You can hold it in a hand. It's a little big, but you can hold it in one hand. And she will set it down in front of you.
So Mac is just staring blankly at it. I mean, I'm assuming he can sense that there's some sort of power within it.
Yes.
But he's not.
Oh, yes.
He has no idea what he would possibly do with such a thing.
It is a magical thing. As far as you're just sort of looking at it, and it doesn't have any visible way to open it or anything. It just is this gold ball.
Sorry, but what is this used for exactly?
It will transform that which it is used upon, which is placed into it. The scale matters not. But if you were to put, for example, this weapon, which you would place into it simply by through your intention to do so, just bring it close, it will understand and do the rest. The weapon would be transformed. It will evolve in another direction. It will be changed from what it is to another thing. When the process is completed, its fundamental identity will be different. The process, in fact, only completing when you decide it should. For change is eternal. Which is the Wilde son.
Is a very generous offer. What is it? What's in it for you?
Well, again, I have a sense that there is some importance this all holds for me. So I would like to know what that importance is. I would like to know what is behind it. If possible, who is behind it. This will be valuable information. I trade
fair.
for such things. Ideas. I trade in ideas. I trade in magical materials. And a few other things.
Of course.
She's basically continues eating her salad. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss with her elegance? Before I know that Aroshka was there was something that she wanted to talk about, but I don't know if we've gotten.
No, that was it. That was it. That was basically it.
That was it? All right. And Mac, was there anything else you wanted to talk to her elegance about?
No. That's very helpful information.
Of the question coming up regarding, if the question comes up as to how to contact her, she will know when the sphere is used.
Oh, okay.
And then she will be in touch. She's going to think for a time on Mac's problem. She's not sure right now what sort of assistance she might be able to provide, but she definitely, if it's an investment to get rid of Manfred, then she's kind of behind it. She's very much in favor of the idea.
That's fair.
All right. So you're so ultimately, as all things do, the meal will come to an end. The depths of the salad having been consumed, an ocean of vanilla having been bet upon. The odds are looking good. We'll know soon who wins. And absolute certainty of the nature of a cheese sandwich has been achieved. Is there anything else that you folks would like to do this evening?
No, I think we have much to ponder.
All right. Very cool. Well, like I said, this was going to be a pretty short session. So we've kind of had our conversation and sorted all that out, I think. I'm very interested to see what happens when we can pick back up and as things are continuing to move forward. So I think if we're good, I'm going to go ahead and get us to our outro. And we'll do those various things. So once again, you can feel free to again say, tell us where to find you and any thoughts, any final thoughts you may have about this session. It's pretty short, so there doesn't need to be much. Let's see. I'll go ahead and start again with Arras.
Hello, I'm Arras, or Animus Panthera most places. I'm a real-life zoologist, also a cosplayer, and tabletop game enthusiast. You can mostly find me on Twitter. The only place you can find me playing games right now is right here on Saturdays, whatever time this game starts. I'm in a different time zone. I'm in a different time zone than most other people.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, that's me.
And Anino.
Hi, I'm Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. This is a nice session to sort of just wind down things. I've been up for about 24 hours straight now.
Oh my god.
Not feeling so great.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we need to.
I'm getting too old for this.
I hear ya.
Anyway, I really do enjoy Invisible Sun. It's very trippy. Yeah, kind of trying to figure out and see where Mac's story goes. I think this is the first long-term campaign. It's a lot of fun and such. As we mentioned at the top of the show, I am doing Extra Life, raising money for Boston Children's Hospital. I'm basically running my fundraising through the official game day, which is November 2nd into the 3rd. So anybody who donates to my Extra Life page will be entered into drawings for a number of prizes, such as Amazon gift cards, a Nintendo Switch, and a Lego set. So apart from that, you can catch me again on this channel on Tuesday for our exciting, cool mini campaign, Don't Rest Your Head, in which I play an insomniac and struggling artist. So, yeah, I'm sure there are other people out there who are hit just as hard by the portrayal. So, yeah, so tune in for that. Maybe you can see Jim weep at the utter existential despair of it all. So
we got close to it last time.
we got close to it last time, and that was a session 0 too. So
yeah,
yeah.
Who knows what'll happen? I guess this weekend was good research for you for insomnia. Oh my god.
Yes.
All right. Well, we didn't do intros, did we?
No.
I'm just realizing that. Oh god, we're all so tired. Okay, we better wrap this thing up before we all lose consciousness. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, and YouTube channel. So, what's happening tomorrow on this channel? We have a one-shot of 10 Candles. which I'm very much looking forward to. I have just learned how to play it, and hopefully I'll be able to run it. And it's really interesting, really interesting. Deep horror. Tuesdays, as was said, we have Don't Rest Your Head, where again people are all the characters for some reason are struggling artists, but they're also insomniacs with strange abilities, and they're using those to fight nightmares in the Mad City. And then, of course, 1 week from today, we will continue with this, more Invisible Sun. And hopefully we'll all be a bit more awake when we, when we come back to it. Sign-ups, I think technically are still open for the second session of 10 Candles. I mean, anyone who... even the one coming up tomorrow, I can't accept anyone else for now. I probably need to actually put that on the sign-up form. But I do need to look back and see where we are with recruitment for that one, so I can figure out people. So the second session is going to be run by Wilde Engineer, who also plays in this Invisible Sun campaign. And then I'm going to very soon be putting out new sign-ups for the end of this month, the final October one-shot, which will be Trail of Cthulhu. I'm going to take a stab at running that, assuming I can cram it into my head in time. And then also...
Without going mad.
Without... Yes, hopefully. One never knows. And then, of course, I'm going to hopefully have sign-ups soon out for next month's short campaign, which will be Alas for the Awful Sea. That is a Powered by the Apocalypse game set around late 1800s, I believe, or in the 1800s, involving folks going out on ships and strange ocean lore. And I'm kind of interested in that. But again, as always, beginners are welcome. And those sign-ups will be open soon, hopefully. Well, when we hit the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to the Greyhawk channel. There's some folks I know over there who normally hang out on Off the Table, and for the ones that, or at least that's where I know them from, and also various other channels. And they're doing this interesting sort of old school style thing using variants on 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. It's called Intrigue in the Ivory Kingdoms, this one. So go ahead and feel free if you wish to hang out with us and continue to hang on as we go there and say hello to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I shall see you next week. I'm gonna fall over now. Take care.